quite frankly, it's just up in our community. And I know people get tired of hearing me say it, but we are scared as black people in America. Black men, black women, black kids, we are terrified because you don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea how that cop that day left the house. You don't know if he woke up on the good side of the bed. You don't know if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You don't know if he had an argument at home with a significant other. You know if one of his kids said something crazy to him and he left the house steaming. Or maybe he just left the house saying that today is going to be the end for one of these black people. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
What do you feel like you or you all can do from Orlando, from the position that you're in right now?
I mean, we can't do anything. First of all, we shouldn't even came to this damn place, to be honest. I think coming here just took all the focal points off of what the issues are. But we're here, so it is what it is.
Unfortunately, I have more chilling details. Jacob Blake is just 29 years old. His father told the Chicago Sun-Times that he is paralyzed from the waist down. Doctors are uncertain if this condition will be permanent. So we heard from LeBron, we heard from George Hill, Stephen A. Now I want to hear from you.
Well, it's unfortunate. There's no doubt about that. It's sad, it's disgusting, because I think that LeBron James makes a point. And a very salient point when he points out how you don't know what we go through. There are a lot of details to various incidents, not George Floyd, because we saw that on video, but others you can look at and you can interpret any way you want to. All right, why did this man go back to the car? Why did this guy fight with the police officer and run away and all of this other stuff? Here's what I want white America to understand. Dylan Roof goes to a church in South Carolina years ago and shoots 9 black worshipers. There is a manhunt for this person. Not only is he arrested, they stopped him at, I don't know whether it was McDonald's or Burger King. They actually stopped to get him food in bringing him into custody because he was hungry. But an unarmed black man ends up getting shot. See, the problem that exists with white America is that this is what a lot of folks in white America are not getting. Because that's the question that black folks continuously ask, facetiously, no doubt. But we ask the question nevertheless, how is it that a white person can find themselves committing acts of violence, but they get arrested, but unarmed black men are getting shot? That is the fear that LeBron James, I believe, was alluding to when he said, you just don't get it. How scared we wake up every day. We have children. We're wondering what's going to happen to us. And it could be contingent upon the mood of a police officer. I've been on national television on this show where I pointed out how I was in New York City driving with my daughter, who I believe was like around 8 at the time. And I'm driving down Amsterdam Avenue going towards Harlem. I think I'm like at between 79th and 80th Street. And I get pulled over by a cop. The next thing you know, it's 3 squad cars pulling me over. And the cop said, show me your license and registration. I said, here, sir, because I always roll down all 4 windows. I put my hands on the steering wheel. My daughter is in the back seat. And the cop says, show me your license and registration. And I handed to him, but I said, officer, what did I do? And he starts screaming at me and pointing at me and don't effing talk back to me and all of this stuff. And then puts his hand on his gun. And it wasn't until the other officer came to him and the officer said, oh, and he said the S word, oh. And then he grabs the officer, pulls him away. And then the officer comes back to me, hands me my license and registration. Have a nice day. So evidently the officer noticed who I was and let me go. The other officer I'm talking about here. What if he were not there? What if that was the only officer that had showed up with his partner? Clearly he didn't care that my daughter was in the background. I just told you all 4 windows were down. That's the kind of stuff that we're talking about here. And so when you see somebody, a police officer, and they come up to you and LeBron says, I don't know what kind of mood they're going to be in. It resonates because that's the issue. We see pundits all over the place and people speaking about how the numbers equate. There are white people that got shot. There are white people that's getting arrested. There are white people that are being thrown in jail, blah, 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 blah. That's not the issue. The issue is the innate fear that has been instilled in black people because of the violence perpetrated against us when there's no cause for it. If you are unarmed, if you are handcuffed behind your back, why are you getting shot? Why do you have a knee on your neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds? These are the kind of things that we're talking about, and we don't hear about that stuff happening in the white community. Now, if it is happening, and you have proof that it's happening, then that's a different discussion for another day. But throughout our history, that hasn't been the issue. It hasn't been discussed because we know that black folks are treated differently than white folks, that obviously we understand some of the reasons why when we talk about systemic racism and we're talking about society, that doesn't mean every white person is racist. If you are not racist and you are not the one engaging in systemic racism and you are not the one that are trying to look down on people because they are of a different culture, a different pigmentation and things of that nature, we're not talking about you.